Yesterday on ESPN, one Jeremy Fowler,
who will join us later today.
Coming up at 9:25. Good work by you, John Kincade. Jeremy Fowler was obviously talking about all kinds of off-season stuff and storylines for a bunch of teams and who's going to be available via free agency and who could be available via trade. The big name, of course, Myles Garrett. Now, this has started since before the Super Bowl. I still remember we were doing a show, and Connor was the only one among the three of us that was even open to thinking about it. I was anti. Like, yo, dude, I want to focus on the Super Bowl before I start focusing on offseason and focusing on Myles Garrett.
That game was easy.
It was an easy Super Bowl, so you're right. I'm glad you had the bandwidth to be able to focus on both. And then at Radio Row, our old buddy Zach Gelb, speaking of a real Temple Owl.
He's another proud Temple Owl.
He interviewed Myles Garrett and, asked him what teams would you want to go to if you were indeed traded, and he said the Eagles. Like, that was the team that he mentioned. I think he threw out a couple of other names, but his first, when you put gun to head, who's the team you want to go to, he went Eagles. And, of course, we talked about how difficult that would be to try to acquire him. It's going to cost a lot of draft capital. It's obviously going to cost a lot of money as well. But Jeremy Fowler, yesterday on ESPN, was asked about the latest with Myles Garrett. Take a listen to what he had to say and hear how he mentions the Eagles.
So way early, I'm connecting some dots here, admittedly, but this is a conversation that some people in the league have had, that the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the most aggressive, if not the most aggressive teams on the trade market, will be looking for a pass rusher. Josh Sweat, the Super Bowl likely or close MVP, could be out. The expectation is that he will sign elsewhere, so they're going to have a need there. Myles Garrett, they would not want to see him go to the Washington Commanders, for example. If that was to gain traction, Howie Roseman would likely step in, try to make a deal that is too hard for the Cleveland Browns to refuse. Keep it in mind here, the Browns are a hard no. They're still telling teams they have no interest in trading Myles Garrett. If he were to become available, several teams will be in that. Maybe the Eagles will be one.
So it's amazing. Now, first and foremost, the GM even spoke yesterday. He's like, no, he is an unmovable player. We'll see how that goes. I've seen unmovable players get moved constantly.
You can't hold out.
Right.
And that's the big thing is he going to pass on millions of dollars? You cannot, and plus millions of dollars in fines by holding out. He may hold out of off-season activities, but
right,
he's not going to hold out of play.
But how many untouchable prospects?
Sure.
How many unmoved? Everybody, a lot of the times the players get moved. So that is one storyline to keep an eye on.
Sure.
Whether or not the Browns even do budge, but you hear in that clip, not only do the Eagles want a pass rusher, which they need one. Like Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt, great. Need a little bit more because I can't rely on Bryce Huff just yet or ever. He said, Jeremy Fowler's reporting, that if the Commanders were to go after Garrett, Howie Roseman and the Eagles would not want to allow that to happen, that they would up the offer. Very much like they didn't want to see Devontae Smith go to the New York Giants. So what did they do? They traded up to acquire Devontae Smith, and then the Giants were caught with their pants down and had to go with Kadarius Toney. Right. Just like the Eagles were back in the day with Clinton Dix, and they got, Marcus Smith. Remember that? They were caught with their pants down. So the Eagles might be so aggressive for Myles Garrett just so that another team in the division doesn't get him. Now, here's my question for you guys today. It's 610-632-0975. John, Connor, of course, we start here. Forget the name Myles Garrett for a second. Do you want the Eagles to even be aggressive, trying to trade or acquire top talent? Or do you want them to continue to build and replenish through the draft, which they have done at an exceptional rate over the last couple of years? You have the capital to move. It would be a lot. And you would be getting a stud in Myles Garrett. Or you stick with what you have, and that's draft picks, which you have been doing very well with, and they are much cheaper. I think I already know where John's going, and I think I already know where Connor's going.
You really do.
But, John, I want you to start.
You really do? You think you know where I'm going?
Yes.
Tell me what you think I'm going to do. I'm fascinated.
I think you're going to stick with the draft.
I am absolutely so far into thinking that this entire thing is a completely false premise.
Okay.
Because I don't believe the Eagles have the capital to go get him. I don't think they have the draft capital to go get him. Every single team that offers first-round picks is offering something of better value. Every team that offers just by draft position alone, someone in the top 10, if you go by draft charts, a top 10 draft pick compared to the 32nd draft pick, it's 3 times as valuable. So I don't even understand, like, to me, I understand the fascination with it. I understand the desire for it, but I don't believe they have the draft capital to be able to get it done.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know.
Every team that offers something is offering something that is any first-round pick that's offered in the top 12 is almost 3 times as valuable.
Well, I don't know what team in the top 10 or top 12 might be trying to get Myles Garrett. They might be trying to get a quarterback.
They might.
They might be trying to start over.
They might.
Like, I don't know why the Tennessee Titans, the New York Giants, the New England Patriots, Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't know why they would give up their top 5 pick for Myles Garrett when they're trying to basically start over.
No, I got you.
They're not going to go get their 30-year-old edge rusher.
But it even goes for future years. Like for future years, looking at things. I could tell you that I think there are lots of teams that would say, yeah, we're for him. The Chicago Bears are a top 10 team. The Chicago Bears, absolutely. A top 10 pick compared to 32. The 49ers are 11. The Dallas Cowboys are 12.
Well, it wouldn't just be this year's picks. I imagine it'd be over the course of a couple seasons.
Yeah, but again, then looking forward, if I'm that general manager, the Eagles pick isn't going to be as good.
Well, yeah, but
the Eagles pick's going to be in the bottom 8 of the draft every year, you would
San
figure.
Francisco's probably will be too.
Could be.
Moving forward.
Could be. But I mean, there are a lot of really good teams that have, by the way, that have more draft picks.
I got you.
Even in second and third round picks and everything than the Eagles have.
Now, here's the thing. He mentioned Washington. Washington's just 3 picks higher than the Eagles at 29. And if you're the Commanders, are you really making that trade right now when you have 18 free agents?
I think that is the difference is, to me, if the Eagles were a player away from winning a championship and you felt that was the missing piece to go do it, they've already won championships. They've already been in the championship 2 of the last 3 years. This is the move that a team that's looking to get pushed over the top does, or a desperate team does. The Eagles have found a great formula for stability and to be able to compete for championships. Why the hell are you throwing it out the window for a guy who's going to be 30 before the playoffs? He's going to be 30 years old before he plays his first Eagles playoff game.
Connor?
No.
Hashtag go get Garrett?
I'm all in, dude. Why not?
I knew it.
And I have a lot of examples.
So you did know.
I knew it. Yeah.
Hang on. I have a lot of examples of why the Eagles have done this in the past to build the current roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look at the... Thank you so much for checking out our content on the 97.5 The Fanatic YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. And remember, you can always be checking the playlist. There may be something you missed from one of our shows during the day that you want to go back and check out. So every time you like a video, like it. Subscribe to the channel, and you'll have that great content coming to you every single day. You're greatly appreciated.